Time for the main event!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below, make sure to hit that notification bell so we miss any future videos. Now that we just got patch 1.10 for WWE 2K26, something just popped up on my X feed via Mike Straw over on Insider Gaming, and I think this really paints a picture of the current state of the 2K games and why they're pushing for monetization so hard this year. Well, it looks like next year might not be any better. Anyway, let's go over to Insider Gaming's website and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, over on InsiderGaming.com, shoutouts to Mike Straw for getting this exclusive. It says, exclusive, WWE 2K developers hit hardest by Visual Concepts layoffs. So it looks like Visual Concepts are facing mass layoffs. Now let's look at what it has to say here, because I saw this, I'm like, uh-oh. It says the layoffs of Visual Concepts appear to have hit the WWE development team more than those working on the NBA 2K games. Insider Gaming has learned that though the layoffs were company-wide, the teams working on WWE games have been hit the hardest. That includes both the main WWE 2K team and those who worked on the WWE 2K25 Netflix edition. As far as how many people were caught up in the layoffs, multiple sources have said that it wasn't insignificant. None were comfortable providing an actual number, however, for fear of underestimating. Ooh. That sounds really, really bad, and that's not good for this franchise. Going back to the WWE 2K25 Netflix edition, despite it performing well in terms of downloads and reviews, sources within Netflix say that those in charge felt it didn't meet expectations. One source said bluntly they expected it to be something it was never designed to be, a mobile game. We could have all told you that. Sources say that despite promises from management at Take-Two painting a rosy picture of everything being fine, that wasn't truly the case. Leadership lied up the whole time. Saying the game was fine and great, one source said. After the release of WWE 2K25 Netflix Edition, Netflix opted not to renew its deal for Netflix editions of WWE 2K26 or WWE 2K27. That left an entire team without projects moving forward. Ooh, that sounds really bad. Netflix got their pop on the charts, another said. Insider Gaming reached out to Netflix and Take-Two for comment, but did not receive a response from either party before publication. Alright, so I wanted to talk about this for a few seconds because maybe this is what's been going on the back end because of how, I don't want to say predatory, but how pushy they've been with the microtransactions for my faction being unable to buckle at all. It sounds like they've tweaked it a little bit. The island mode having the prestige system to where you have to basically max out your character 3 times if you want to get to max level. All the crazy stuff you have to do in there to just spend VC. The whole game is designed to get you to spend VC, and they're really making sure to stay on top of any thing that you can do to circumvent the system, if you will, or cheese the system. And I made a video saying 2K hates cheese. It all kind of makes sense now because maybe they were on the chopping block if they didn't hit a certain internal metric. And I said this early on in the game's life cycle when it first came out. Maybe there's an internal metric they have to hit, and that's why they're not buckling on this. And I don't know, man. I don't see 2K27 doing very, very well out of the gate because look how long it's taking to fix issues with the current game. We don't need less developers on the game. We need more developers on this game to get the shit done, to get the game functioning and working properly within the first month. Heck, they shouldn't even release the game if it's in such a bad state. Now, I'm not going to lie and say the game's not fun. I'm having a lot of fun playing the actual gameplay and all that kind of stuff, making wrestlers. It's just there's little things here and there that have crept around for years that have never been addressed and never gotten fixed. And instead of going in with a deep dive and actually fixing things, they just keep adding onto their adding onto the system, like body morphing. Body morphing, I have been wanting that ever since they took it out. I'm super happy and glad it's back, but it pretty much put it at the expense of other things. And it's not full true body morphing, it's more of body selecting. So it works within the system. And whoever came up with that system for how we select our body types and getting the somewhat body morphing in the game is genius because it works within the confines of the game's current setup, if that makes sense. Because all those body types are in the game. You're literally just Frankensteining it together. So they probably figured out a way to do it with a mod that they built or tested out, and they're like, wait a minute, we could just do this for body morphing. And this will be huge. That's one of the only main reasons I wanted 2K26 was because of the body morphing. That's like my favorite new feature. You can make so many different characters with it. You can actually make them all look different. That's my favorite feature that they added this year. But with stuff like the face morphing being all messed up, I'm surprised the body morphing is not messed up too. I'm really, really shocked that the body morphing has worked as well as it has so far, because I thought for sure that was going to be a glitchy mess. But that seems to have worked flawlessly, for me anyway, on PS5 since launch. But the face morphing is still an issue. Check out the patch notes video I did. There's a lot of lingering things in there. The universe mode, every time they try to add anything to it, it kind of like snowballs downhill and breaks a bunch of other stuff. Hopefully with this latest patch 1.10, because there's a lot of stuff that's in the patch notes, assuming that those are actually fixed, well, until I get in there myself and go start testing things, I won't really be able to tell you one way or the other. Now, I know other people have played universe mode a crap ton. I am literally on the cusp of starting my universe, and if it goes well, we're finally going to do what I've been trying to do when I created this channel and make a damn universe show, because it just seems like a super fun thing to do. Even if it gets no views, I don't really care. I just want something I want to do for fun. And then when I get comfortable doing it, we could do it live. And then that was the goal of this channel, because I've always wanted to do like a wrestling show with both real wrestlers and my creator wrestlers, and just turn it into a whole thing. Like, do it long enough to get my creator wrestlers over with the audience, you guys. And then once they're established, keep it going and turn it into like my own kind of comic book thing. Like, that's the whole plan I've had for this channel. And I've just been doing news videos in the meantime to try to keep up and just try to keep the channel afloat. Well, I don't know how much longer this is going to work for me, for my mental health and everything, because, bro, I don't know how much longer I can handle these games not getting fixed. And this news just kind of set me off in my brain. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should stop covering this game. But then, what other wrestling games are there? There isn't any other. So we desperately need Ultra Pro Wrestling. We desperately need the wrestling code. We need someone else to take the mantle, or at least have an alternative to WWE 2K games, because the way it is now, they have no competition. They can literally release a game totally broken and everybody's going to buy it because there's no other game to play. So they're like, oh, it's fine. The game's broken and we're not doing 100% of what the people want, but the money's still there because literally nothing else is there to compete with it. So just like with consoles, just like with any product out there, you need competition to make both products better. Like, look at Sony. They've been doing a bunch of bonehead stuff because they thought Xbox was done. But with Asher Sharma, the new CEO of the Xbox division, it looks like they're going to be nipping at the heels of the PlayStation brand, which is good for both PlayStation players and Xbox players. I do not want any gaming company to go under. I don't want the 2K games to go under. I want them to be better. I mean, they're building off of one of my favorite franchises of all time, the SmackDown engine. They're still building off of that. And it just sucks to see that, like, they're focusing on the wrong things. And with the layoffs of all these people, shout outs to them. My heart goes out to you. I've been laid off 3 times in my working career. It's not fun. Yeah, it's one of the most stressful things you can go through, especially if you don't know when your next paycheck's going to come. Like, I got laid off twice during the pandemic, and I had less than $3,000 to my name. That's a story for another time, but that was literally one of the scariest times in my life, because I didn't know if I was going to be homeless or not. So luckily I have a really good family that was willing to let me stay with them. So very, very fortunate there. Anyway, not to get all doom and gloom, but anyway, this just I don't even know how to end this video. This is just crazy to me. Why are we laying off people when the game needs more people? And you're literally about to release the biggest game of all time, Grand Theft Auto 6, which will bring in tons of revenue for the whole company. You don't really need to lay off Visual Concepts in WWE. If I was WWE 2K Games, or WWE in general, and TKO is what I was trying to say. I'm kind of like flabbergasted here with this news. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, wait a minute, you're lowering the amount of developers that are going to be making our game, our wrestling game. Wouldn't that piss you off if you were TKO? Like, does this mean our product's going to be inferior going into the next 2K27. I have a feeling 2K27 is going to be even more of a carbon copy of 2K26 and 2K25, and we're still not going to get that generational leap that we've been begging for since this generation started. Anyway, what do you make of this? Are you sad to see the visual concepts take hits, especially the 2K team, because the last thing they need is less people working on the game? They should have absorbed those people and had them work on the main game. And what does this mean for the Switch 2 version? Does the Switch 2 version even come out next year for 2K27? Because I don't think the Switch 2 version of 2K26 did well. I mean, I don't have the sales data in front of me, but because the Switch 2 is so early in its life, and most people buy those games on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, I'm very curious how the Switch 2 version is doing financially. Because if it's not doing well, they might not make one next year. Especially with all these layoffs. They might not have the manpower to get it done. Anyway, as I was saying, sound the comments below. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty.